Chapter 14, Juvenile Corrections. Introduction. The goal of the juvenile justice system is to craft a disposition that is in the best interest of the juvenile while protecting society. However, release to the community on a standard probation might always not be the best option. What can be done to prepare delinquents to return to society? Efforts at dealing with delinquency look at community-based programs and institutional programs. Community corrections is the traditional way to respond to juvenile delinquents, and it is to provide the least restrictive treatment. Placing juveniles in secure institutions is considered as a last resort. To keep the juveniles in the community, the juvenile justice system has devised some programs and agencies. Standard probation, the conditional release of a juvenile to the custody of parents or guardians, developed in 1841 by John Augustus, instituted as one of the cornerstones of the juvenile court. Probation is necessary because of the large number of juveniles before the contemporary juvenile courts. Several advantages include reduces the stigma, encourages rehabilitation by employing community resources, and lower cost. The rules of probation require the youth to maintain contact with the probation officer. Standard conditions of probation apply to all probationers, and special conditions of probation apply to youth's particular needs. Intensive supervision probation is called a probation triage. Cases who will do well no matter what the officer does, cases who will do poorly no matter what the officer does, or cases who will do well if the probation officer allocates time and resources. Intensive supervision probation allows the probation department to provide extended services to the juvenile who fall into Category 3, cases who can do well if the probation officer allocates time and resources. Two goals of intensive supervision probation are to protect society by maintaining increased vigilance over the juveniles and to provide treatment services that can affect the likelihood of turning the juveniles toward law-abiding behavior. Differs from standard probation in several ways. Uses a team approach, caseload size, and probation activities are more highly structured. Electronic monitoring is the probationer wears an electronic device. The advantages are one officer can monitor many more clients, allows probationers to live at home. Disadvantages can be privacy concerns, Fourth Amendment violations, tampering, and the public, not enough punishment. Home confinement, sometimes called house arrest, juvenile stays at home with their parents and they attend school, often used in conjunction with intensive supervision probation and electronic monitoring. The advantage is the cost. Fines and victim compensation. The court might order delinquents to pay fines or to make restitution. Fines. The problem with fines is that kids don't have their own money. Restitution in the form of money, work, or both, and community service, which is work done for the community. Residential treatment programs. Parents might not be able to ensure a healthy environment, so we might need to use a secure facility similar to an adult prison. Non-secure facilities are non-secure detention, placement in a group home, foster care, or other program in which the juvenile may come and go with permission, allows access to school, recreational programs, religious activities, and community services. Foster care, used when the court finds that a youth's parents are either unfit or unable to provide for his or her welfare. Foster parents might foster more than one youth in the home who all might come from different families. Many in foster care are status offenders, and about half are delinquents. Group homes and halfway houses accommodates more juveniles and is more structured, typically holds between 8 and 12 juveniles, and has a professional staff. The staff issues are high turnover, which is difficult to maintain, low pay, and little training, and funding can be problematic. Alternative experience programs seeks to provide experiences that can help kids change their work habits, self-concept, and ability to get along with others, typically conducted on ranches, in camps, or in the wilderness. Youths must learn new skills, working with animals, surviving in the wilderness, and abusive if done wrong. Advantages of residential treatment programs include less costly than secure confinement, duration is shorter than secure confinement, can handle more kids, less restrictive, and less stigma associated. Secure confinement. Most juveniles in secure institutions have committed offenses that would be criminal if committed by adults. restricts the movement of the juveniles within the institution. Self-contained, closed environments that also feature other pains of imprisonment. 5 pains of imprisonment include deprivation of liberty, deprivation of goods and services, deprivation of autonomy, deprivation of heterosexual relations, and deprivation of security. Jails would be considered a form of secure confinement, a basic short-term confinement option. Jails also hold adult offenders and detainees. Juveniles who are being held as juveniles are sent to jails because they require secure confinement until they can be seen by a judge. Detention centers. States used secure detention facilities to sanction probation violators and temporarily hold juveniles while their cases are being processed. Some states use it as a disposition. All states require a hearing within a few days of custody. Juvenile correctional facilities. Juvenile correctional facilities are called a variety of things depending on the state. In Georgia, Youth Development Campus. In Illinois, Youth Center. And in West Virginia, Industrial Home. Boot camp prisons, a type of shock incarceration program patterned after military basic training programs with strict discipline, physical training, and hard labor. State prisons. Most youths in adult prisons are 17-year-old male minority and have committed offenses against the person. Must be kept out of sight and sound of adult inmates until they are adults. Conditions for those youths are the same as the adult detainees. Issues. Crowding. As facility size increases, so does the security. Rhodes v. Chapman, overcrowding isn't unconstitutional. This ruling also applies to juvenile institutions, except when overcrowding leads to adverse conditions. Suicide prevention. Most institutions screen juveniles the day they arrive because that is when they experience the greatest stress. The more restrictive the institution, the greater the threat of suicide. So we look at the types of resident, the types of isolation, and the staff training and treatment. Incarcerated girls. Numbers are relatively low compared with our incarcerated boys. Most programs are modeled for boys' needs. Unique problems for girls: suicides more likely, acute substance abuse treatment needs, high levels of abuse or trauma, and challenging interpersonal relationships. Girls get more consideration for diversion programs. 2 exceptions to the chivalry hypothesis are girls are more likely to be detained for status offenses, and girls who wind up in secure detention are viewed as lost causes. Correctional programs. Education would be an example. Education can be a detention facility that offers only basic remedial education. Many youths have learning disabilities. Kids are in and out of detention facility based on legal issues, not educational needs, and teachers must provide individualized instruction. Vocational training, aimed at providing youth with marketable skills, traditionally tracked males and females into gender-related occupation. Recreational programs, exercise, team-building skills must be carefully monitored. Counseling and treatment, several types of treatment. Non-directive counseling includes psychoanalysis and client-centered approach. Directive counseling, transactional analysis, reality therapy, rational and motive behavioral therapy, and group counseling, which can provide a pro-social outlet and make kids more comfortable. Re-entry, the environment delinquents return to likely fostered much of their deviant behavior in the first place. The biggest problem with juvenile re-entry programs is that the required resources aren't always under the control of the juvenile justice system. Re-entry, 14 findings from the Pathways to Desistance study. 1. Most juveniles who commit felonies eventually reduce their offending regardless of intervention. 2. Longer stays in juvenile institutions don't reduce recidivism. 3. Community-based supervision is effective for youth who have committed serious offenses. And 4. Substance abuse treatment reduces substance use and law breaking. That concludes this narrated PowerPoint presentation.